And welcome back, folks, to another episode of Fancy Tickles. I'm Bryce Beeler, a.k.a. Uncle Wrecking Ball. This is Jolly Green over here, a.k.a. Sean Blankenship, because he's jolly more than he is Sean. And Jim.
What's happening?
Fuck you! Anyway, what's going on this week?
A ton of shit.
I know.
Well, they got the first video of Mars surface. Anybody catch that?
I thought I'd seen that before, like 15 years ago, but I'm pretty excited that it's also a thing now, too. Well, I get what you're saying. I've seen it. I've seen the pictures, but I was just like, yeah, it must just be that it's new, fancier cameras. And, well, the only thing I don't like, so I saw on there, somebody was like, had one of those 3D pictures.
Right.
The panorama. Yeah, he panorama, and the stars were like unreal. Unbelievably unreal. And then and I'm like looking back, I was like, God, how cool would it be to stand there and see that? And then a little disclaimer at the bottom was like, sky has been edited, not actual skyline of Mars. So I looked up what the actual one looks like. Can't even see stars.
Well, that's why they did it.
It's so fucking, dude. It isn't cool enough that we put a robot on a fucking planet. We got to church it up and put stars in the sky. That's so fucked.
Photo edit.
It's all your people's fault. You need to be entertained, and you're not unless it's blinky and shiny. You guys don't get entertained. I'm gonna just start fucking. Yeah, like the JoJo thing with the fucking head and the bow and the. It's just the shit that like every week I just want to like throw a fit on the show and be upset, not at everybody, but just like when there's like that one person, like say it's your boss, and you want to just like put your finger on him and be like, why don't I make more money? Why do I make you so much money? But you can't do that. It's the same thing like when we do the show, and we got like fan base. I'll like do that. We got some people that listen to the show, and then you see some 8-year-old kid that unwraps toys just like my 8-year-old kid does at home and tells me all about the toy, telling the person on the YouTube, and they make like $8,500 a day. And sometimes
a lot of the stuff. The fun thing is, so I would love to be one of those guys that gets you right into the company and be like, if you send me your product, I'll unbox it on my channel and show people like the cool functions and features of it.
Like naked toys or something.
Toys, like I've seen people do it with like brand new phones or sneakers that are just dropping in like 6 months.
I think the thing is you have to already have people paying attention to you for them to want to do that. Like, again, no offense to you guys. We love all 25 of you, but 25 people isn't going to swing what they could possibly make. Even if every single one of them bought whatever light-up adult shoes that we pitch on the show or whatever, they still aren't, Yeah.
New age Heelys.
Yeah, new age Heelys. Oh, that'd be so sick. I saw like a video on Instagram or something, and it was a guy, like an adult that had found an adult sized pair of Heelys and was like
doing all
super
the tricks
sexy. Yeah. That was, I think, my Valentine's Day one too, is trying to be all
I would fucking die.
What, on Heelys?
Oh yeah.
You just put your feet down. And then you're not Heelying anymore. Now you're just high Heelying.
I don't know.
When's the last time you've been on like a bike?
Like a bike?
Like a bicycle.
Well, I've got a mountain bike we go on all the time.
Well, what about like a BMX bike?
BMX bike.
Yeah, dude.
I'd bust that fucker in half. I'm a big boy.
We can find you a bike.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if my knees would handle it.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Because even on a mountain bike, I'm crack.
Well, and you got more range on one of those. Where on like a BMX bike, your knees are up here.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I hated about that. And then even if like to get in a comfortable position for me to ride, I'd stand up, but then my back was always so hunched over, and then that fucking hurt.
Oh yeah, especially if you're on a long ride or something.
You got an 80s bicycle, that shit, dude. You got to jack that fucking seat post way up there, dude. Like even with the handlebars. That was the thing, though. Like, people rode them like mountain bikes. They had the seat set where, like, just the end of your stroke, because there was no reason to be out of your seat on a BMX bike in the 70s. It's like, red, and you're jumping through the air, and there's like choo 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 with like pink shredder graphics like behind you.
Like the banana seats and everything on those, the old Schwinn.
Yeah, you had like this seats. Much adjustment because it was like this.
Yeah. Don't go too far back, you're gonna get the sissy bar up your ass.
Oh man, such simpler times though.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about inside, I just it's time for the woods. You see some shit on TV and the internet, and you're just like, not saying he had it all figured out, but maybe Ted Kaczynski wasn't entirely wrong either. Just gonna. I was listening.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, the whole like where the government and the pseudo-industrial complex that controls everything is making it so that all we now care about is what's like coming from our devices, and we don't have nearly as many people with like depth. It's like the best way to describe it is find the most boring 60-something-year-old you can and ask her like, what was this like? What was that like? And they're going to tell you about the culture and the music and the people and the attitudes and how those things worked. They're not going to be like, well, I seen this thing and I saw that thing. Like, how often is that how you describe stuff now? You know what I mean?
It's not.
No?
No? I don't feel like it is. I feel like, are you saying like more of a description or less?
No, what I mean is more like, instead of like if a kid comes up to you when we're like 60 and we still got our like 50-year-old gold chip Facebook accounts.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
gold chip.
You're like, this is what it was like. And it'll be like all of us pretending to be like this thing that like 5 minutes before the family picture was taken, you were all fighting. So it really has nothing to do with it. You get what I'm getting at? Like, everybody's best is on social media. Everybody's like flamboyant. Everybody does the filter on their food. Like, your fucking steak doesn't look that good. I've seen you cook, bitch. You're, like...
I hate that. And sorry to interject kind of, but it's like, what were we doing? We were doing something, and it was like a full-on... Haley was screaming. Sarah and I were like, back and forth at each other. And then, we were carving pack. We were carving pumpkins, and she's like, "Just pose and smile, come on." And so it was like, we all look like happy,
super sarcastic smile and shit.
But
and you know how much trouble you're gonna get in 40 years if the grandkids are like fucking, oh, you guys look so happy, and you like pull out like, actually, I fucking hated that day. Your mom made me smile, or whatever, like. I would have rather been pissing glass. Like, I know it seems weird, but I almost kind of want to start to... Like, but people do this too, but they don't... They are asking people to solve their problems for them online. Like, oh my God, my significant other did insert thing that we all do.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what would you do? Well, now you're going to take a bunch of advice from guys that want to have sex with you, and your girlfriends that hate your current old man because they all hate your current old man because you steal time from them. So that's who's going to be like, oh, yeah, kick that devil to the curb. He's a fucking awful, and then that's what, happens. And then you're like, then you see somebody else's, and it's like, perfect profile, happy. So I just want to put, like, scuzzy shit in there. You're like, fucking...
So what if he jerked off on you in your sleep? I do it all the time.
Yeah, or even just like go the other way. Like, had a hard poop this morning. Now my back hurts, and that's the whole post. Like, just if we're all gonna just take pictures of our food, let's start just talking about bowel movements super passively.
Start taking pictures of like shit.
And then you get the filter to make it look bigger, and you get the rainbow graphic GIF thing that's like super poop, and like
they've eaten more oats.
The best thing is they've got an
before and after pictures. So Dave,
the bowl is.
So 8 o'clock at night. No, 8 o'clock at night when I'm eating my dinner, I'm gonna be like before. And then, like, 4 hours later, who's going to be the big shit in the toilet? And I'll be like, after. Like, aren't you guys proud of me for reporting every part of my day back to you on social media? Every bit. Like, even the, like sitting on the toilet. Yeah.
In between. I'm cooking it up for you guys.
It's been a while, but there was a girl I was talking to, and she sent, like, a funny selfie from... And, like, you couldn't see her, like, nothing or whatever, but you could tell she was sitting on a toilet. And I was like... Are you sitting on the toilet? She's like, yeah, I'm taking a shit. And like spelled it all big. I was like, oh, I'm fucking in love. This girl's got it going on.
Well, they got an app now that you can. It's called Places I've Pooped.
No,
and it's a legit, like, you can, you put in your location. So
like a Where's George for your poop?
Like, no. So, like, and you rate the toilets that are there.
It's Yelp for toilets.
It's Yelp for toilets, yeah.
Oh,
so it's like
dude.
Places I've Pooped, and it's an app you can get on your phone. You put in your location, so like Lewiston, Clarkson, and then it'll have
Best
locations
rated
with
poops.
toilets, and it's like the location where it's at. I don't have it on my phone right now.
I need that.
And it's an app.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to know what the newest best bathroom hands down is in town?
Where?
Not a fancy restaurant, not a shitty gas station. The new stinker gas station in North Lewiston by my work.
Really?
It's warm. The ceilings are like 15 feet fucking tall. There's tile up. Oh, dude, it's so nice. The toilet's one of them big long fuckers, so you don't have other people's poo stains on your shirt. Oh, it's just fucking rad, dude.
Just peachy keen, huh?
Yeah, and warm. Like, I hate cold bathrooms. I get so fucking mad when I'm like, it's the only place you want to relax, and it's cold. Like, it makes it's like
Yeah, but I don't want to be
it
warm.
puckers me up.
I don't
dude.
want to be warm if I'm going to be getting warmer from taking a shit. Like, if you have to really work up
I don't
a
really
shit,
get worked up.
the shit you had today, you were pretty worked up with.
Yeah, but was I sweating? Was I overheated?
Not at the moment, but you've said before you've taken your shirt off in order to do that. And
That's
I realize
because I don't like getting shit on my
get
shirt.
that, but
Why
at
do
the
you
same
get shit on you?
Dude, it was picture day, like, sophomore, junior year, and I had, like, one of those button-up shirts I used to always wear, and I, like, sat down to take a shit, and somehow my shirt tail, because it was like this, like a non-duck bill, you know, like the one that has the extra for tucking your pants shit in, and I got shit on the shirt I wanted to wear for picture day, so I had to go home, change my shirt, come back. Ever since then, dude, I take my shirt and my jacket off. Most of the time, even t-shirts I take off. I don't like fucking pooping.
I get worried at work because we have those vests.
Yeah, you don't want
And they hang low, and I'll kind of, like, tuck it up
That's dangerous
like
territory.
this, because if I shit on that,
I'm not a
I'm
grown
stuck
man.
with
There's
it
like
all
not
day.
things to
You're not a
tuck
grown. You're
things
not
in.
a fat man. You ain't got nothing to tuck into.
And there was a time there I was really trying. Jim can fucking vouch for this, dude. I
He
was
was
putting the
putting
food and the beer down. I was getting big, starting to try again because I got all the way up to 228 pounds at one time. No clothes on, no shoes, just me.
Yeah.
And that was pretty horrendous. Just because, like, my frame, I don't carry weight good at all. My legs stay little. My butt gets weird, not good big. My belly gets funny weird, and then I get the boobies.
Yeah.
It is bad. Anyway, so I was up to, like, 218 or whatever when I was really trying to keep up. When we were all watching the fucking wrestling all the time, and I was drinking a lot of beer, eating a lot of pizza. But
that was the go-to.
no, I don't know. When I don't
beer.
drink and I exercise, I just weigh like 170 pounds all the time. My grandpa was that way too. We're getting way off fucking topic. This is awesome.
Well, we were talking about the Yelp pooping app.
Oh, yeah.
So, question for you guys.
Okay.
I wrote down a couple of ideas here, and we're talking about poop, and I think it's funny because I wrote down
poop is always
what
funny.
did I write down? Okay, who farted?
I did that earlier.
Oops in public.
In public.
And the best
place to shit outside.
Like, are we talking about the best location to poop that I've ever experienced?
If you were outside, stuck outside, couldn't get to a bathroom.
Oh, like
Where would you pick where you would be like, not gonna get caught? Like,
well,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know why this
so-
thought hit me this morning, but
okay, I can vouch for this because I spent a little bit of time homeless for a minute. And so the best place to poop are places that people don't go often, no matter what. So dumpsters with enclosures, like not the lid on the dumpster,
like
but the ones that are in like the cement thing.
Yeah.
You hop that fence, you are very unlikely to meet an employee. And if you do, they always do how many times have you done it working at places that have a dumpster with the lid open? So this is the other rule. If you're going to poop behind a dumpster in an enclosure, flip the lid. This encourages the employee that looks in, that sees the lid flipped, to do the LeBron over the fence like we all do when we go to put the... Nobody
I'm glad you
opens...
said LeBron and not Kobe.
Kobe!
I did Kobe
That's still
the other
best.
day.
That's still the best meme I think I've seen in a long time. God shooting a helicopter. Kobe!
Oh, God, yeah. Okay,
Ooh.
I did see that one.
I did it the other day, and a guy that was at the store.
You shit behind a dumpster, or you did the Kobe?
shit in my hand,
Jesus.
and then I did the Kobe.
I feel like I just took a huge bong rip, but I didn't. All
Me
right.
too.
I think I'm good. Anyhow, no, no shit in a dumpster. No, no, I threw a piece of paper over and went by one of the cash registers, and I was like, "Kobe!" The guy from the distance was like, "Too soon." I was like,
Not soon.
"Oh
enough.
yeah."
I should probably do that too, huh?
Okay, so yeah.
So
behind a
anyway,
dumpster.
so you make sure the lid is flipped. Then you pick the side that the hinge is on.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's usually against the wall. Hidden.
2 reasons. If it's already shut, that lid doesn't have rain on it. When you flip it over, you have something you can lean on, because not very often is the garbage at businesses on the outside of the garbage. It's always the inside, like waste paper basket shit. So you got something to lean on, something to poop on, and you know that people aren't going to come around the enclosure to mess with you. If you've ever seen homeless people that do drugs behind, they just fucking like live behind dumpsters for hours before they wake up and go about their day.
Yeah.
So that would be my ideal emergency place to poop that is like everywhere. There's always one of those somewhere.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But if you're talking about like the best place I've ever pooped, so you're going to Anatone. Mm-hmm. You go out of Anatone out on West Mountain Road. And you don't take the cutoff back to East Mountain Road. You go out like you're going to Mount Misery and all those ones. Or you find that one road that does that. Yeah. And when you're going up, and then the road turns and you're looking all out, like you can almost see to Troy. It's just that huge open. So there's a tree and then this little rock outcropping. And I pooped looking into that valley one time. And it was just
beauty. It's like those videos where you see people that live, like they go to like the island
Rick and
or whatever.
Morty's, like it was like Rick's poop planet, you know.
Well, have you seen those videos where people like they go? Who is it? The dude that owns Virgin Airlines. He's got like an island that he lives on, and his room. He's got like a whole house that's like outdoors. The whole like, to an extent, the walls. There are no walls to the outside of the house. And he's got a toilet sitting right there looking out into the water.
Hell yeah.
And then he's got like a waterfall shower next to it with like a clawfoot tub not too far off. Like just...
I bet this
You just shit on the toilet, walk into the waterfall shower.
Yeah, you don't even have to
clean your ass off.
You just fucking just do the whole 9. And you live on a tropical island, so you don't even have to dry off. It's not going to be cold.
Shit that he owns.
You know he's rich. So if really push comes to shove, tropical storm comes in, he just hits a button and it's like, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Walls now. Like, never not living.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine the amount of money rich people spend to make shit perfect. Like, when they walk up to their house after they're done 2 hours filming movies or whatever the fuck they do, there's not a leaf on anything. There's not a blade of grass out of place. Like, the dudes that cut their lawns make more than all 3 of us put together. You know, like, just for that perfection thing. Like, and I want a woods house that, like, you almost don't even know where my driveway is. It's so, like, random. Like, I'm never going to use the same driveway again. I'll just, like, I'll come from this part of my property and this part, let the grass grow for a while. Yeah, until it's just, so it just looks like random cattle fucking grass or whatever. And then the little shed contraption or whatever I come up with. I did come up with a fun idea, though. Because across from my alley is that motorhome that doesn't work, right? Yeah. But they always have roofs. They always got windows. They always got cabinets and, like, one bed. Well, they're all different heights, sizes, right? But they're all square. Yep. So you just fucking start picking angles to mash them bitches together. You know what I mean? Like just go up, cut a square.
Put a bunch of them together.
Yeah, like go to the corner. Like say it's the corner where the shitty fucking bed always is that nobody uses. You just fucking cut a hole right there in the wall. Then you take the other one and canter it. So they're like this, like whoop whoop. Yeah. So then you cut the hole and then put them together. Now you got a hallway. Right? And then you take another one, boop! Then you got a hallway all the way around, and you got something that you can span the distance and have a porch now. And how cool would it be to be like...
completely and then have a giant living room.
So I'll take some nice young lady I met, and I'll grab her hand, and we'll go to my rig and drive 30 miles to the woods, and then she'll see all these motorhomes just contraptified together, right? Yeah. I'll be like, come on, honey, let's go check out my place, right? And she's going to be obviously super excited, like way ahead of the game excited to get inside. Yeah. Right? And then when you open it up, boom, fucking remodeled and like paint scheme perfect and carpet and everything. I knew you were going to do it.
I got comfortable there for a second.
Yeah, you got it. Right. Now tell me if you can get comfy. Come on.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Here. Perfect.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, in the woods together with my 2 ladies, just fucking...
In your sex shack.
In my sex shack. But no, dude, I think it'd be sweet. Make it all mazy and tunnely, you know?
Porn puzzle.
My porn puzzle. Well, because there's that one picture on the internet that's trailer houses that are all stacked up up the hill tree thing. And I'm like, that's kind of where it's at. Almost like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
I think that shit's cool. Like, I don't know. I'd rather have a tree house than a mansion, for sure.
Well, like the tree house that's out in Osoton.
Yeah, something like that.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
have you ever watched that Treehouse Masters? The guy who
I think I saw the A&E or whatever.
Build. Ooh, some of that shit is awesome.
Nice.
I wonder how you get like a permit to build a house in a tree.
I don't know, and I kind of wondered about that because that house out there in Osoton was for sale at the same time this was, and I was like, "That's a nice house." Like,
yeah, you just have to be okay with the
highway.
Well, the highway, and you just have to be okay with the treehouse falling down eventually. Like it's gonna dry rot and fall down.
But I just kind of wondered, like, what does your insurance look like when they see that? Oh, you got a fucking house and then almost a full size house in your tree. Like what?
I think they just either disregard it or just consider it an outbuilding.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, anything else where they're like, oh no, that doesn't add to the value because it's whatever. Like if you had a dilapidated like 1-car garage back there behind your good garage, something like that.
You might be able to insure everything that's in there, but that'd be about it.
Maybe. Yeah, you always have
like
property insurance and shit. Yeah. Kind of like water beds. Kind of like fish tanks.
Vintage.
All that shit you're not allowed to fucking have anymore. It said specifically on my lease, it was like no water beds, no fish tanks over 10 gallons. I'm like, what the fuck kind of fish can I put in a 10-gallon tank anyway? Like a guppy? I'm a single guy. I need something flashy and cool that I can train. You know? Oscars.
You remember Brian Matson's Oscars?
I remember Levi's.
Yeah, Levi had them too.
Yeah, like when he had that little tiny house up by the college. He had a big-ass fucking Oscar tank in his living room. That shit was awesome.
Those fuckers eat mice and all kinds of shit, don't they? I thought they...
I would imagine if a mouse was floating around in there, eventually they would.
Domesticated piranha, really. Kind of.
I think it was the same kind of thing, and they bite, and they have sharp teeth, but I think a piranha's got, like, the needle teeth and the rip and the gouge and the school. Yeah. Like, the reason that they fuck you up is there's a school of them all attacking the same thing. Like, they'll burrow into the side of a hippo or whatever. Yeah. Like, follow the same hole kind of thing.
Right.
Imagine that. You see this hippo all sick, and it comes hippoing up to you, fucking, and it's already, like, the most dangerous animal in the world. It's not lions. Yeah. Hippos actually kill more humans than any other animal. And so then, like, and then it just fucking explodes, right? Full of piranhas. That would be things of nightmares or shitty B movies, dude. Like, and that could technically just happen. Like, if its guts weren't all ate up yet, it could just, like, take a whole school of fucking piranha.
Somebody's gonna make a movie someday here soon, and you're gonna see that scene.
If we already have Sharknado, I sure fucking hope a hippo explodes with fucking piranhas. There's got to be a piranha movie, right?
Oh, there's a handful of piranha movies.
Oh yeah.
But are they shitty like Sharknado?
So there was an original piranha movie back in like the 70s, I think, that they did, and then they did a remake where it was like Piranha 3D. That they put in theaters. So it was like a remake of that. And then I think they've had a couple others that have come out recently. I downloaded that Wrong Turn, the remake.
Oh,
and I started watching them a little bit the other night. I haven't made it hardly anywhere in the movie, and the first death is in the trailer. There's that log that rolls down the hill.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, gets either trampled by it, but they, like, survive. The one guy that doesn't is falling down the hill, and he, like, slams back first into this tree, into the trunk. And the log just, like, boom. And so, like, you see everybody else that's up and, like, they're moving around and they're like, where's Miguel or whatever? And he's, like, at the tree, and he just has, like, this...
Yeah.
But his whole face is just, like, just smushed in the tree. But he looks like he was almost trying to smile. But, so, and it's, like, 3 couples. There's 2 guy, girl, and then the guy that dies is in the gay relationship, and so his partner is like freaking out, like, you can't, why are we leaving him, you can't leave him, and he's like, he believed that it's just his body. He's not coming back. Like he's gone. He's in paradise. That's what he believed. So just let him go. And I was interesting.
You shut it off already, didn't you?
No, I've been watching it like half hour at a time on my lunch.
That's not a good sign, though.
I've just been doing it that way because if I try to like mirror it to my TV, it jumps and skips. So watching it on my phone is the easiest way to do it. So I've just been watching it half hour at a time at work.
It's so weird, and that's what leads me to this here. I just seen it, and I thought, God damn, are we still cavemen? And it's like, our TVs still don't do exactly what you want. And your reaction to that annoyance is so caveman. Yeah, you're gonna fucking throw a huff. You're gonna be like, why did that technology that didn't exist 10 years ago that I couldn't afford anyway, it just skipped for a second, and you're fucking losing your shit, you know? Or
happened to me today. I was watching on the old Roku there and trying to watch my Vice Grip Garage, an episode I've already seen 3 times. And I'm just watching it, eating chips, you know? My day off, eating chips. And all of a sudden the little
load thing.
And I'm like, it's like automatic. You're just like, motherfucker.
How long is this going to take? Forgetting that we used to just hit a button to turn the internet on and then just turn away from your computer and go do something for 2 hours.
Well, or when you like go to watch a movie on VHS and you're like, fuck, somebody already watched it halfway through. So you had to rewind it for fucking 15, 20 minutes, depending on the speed of your...
Oh, my grandparents had 2, right?
Yeah.
So the stock car, just like a regular stock gray car, that was the one in the bedroom on the TV I was allowed to use. And it would take like 5 minutes to rewind a movie.
Yeah.
But they had a Dale Earnhardt Jr. car VHS cassette rewinder. That fucker only took like a minute. Shout out to the Intimidator.
I'll never forget the first time I figured out that if you just press the rewind button twice, it'd be like, you'd hit it again and it'd go, and you're like, holy shit!
Oh, you didn't know that?
I got yelled at the first time I did that because my parents were like, it's going to eat the tape, don't do that. And we lost several tapes that way, but still.
That's why you have to get a 4-head tape player. You got to spend that extra $8 at Sears and get the 4-head.
He got a Betamax player.
Fuck, we had a Betamax
Had a
too.
Betamax, and then he got like, it was like 40 or 50 tapes, and he paid like maybe $100 for all of it.
Those are worth so much right now.
There's one at the Bargain Hunter Antique Mall right now.
Yeah, I bet they want a penny for it too.
And it's got a big old basket full of fucking
Betamax
too.
I never knew what the draw was. Like and like it's a cult following thing for sure.
Well, it's like the laser discs.
Well, but they never sold a commercial Betamax tape that had a movie on it.
Yeah,
they only
it's
what you recorded or whatever. But there's something awesome about betas or whatever.
Well, and the Betamax
maybe
tape,
they have a better tape.
The length was so much longer on there. Like you can fit.
Oh, it's more frames. It had better frame resolution.
10 hour and a half movies on a regular VHS. You could fit like 12 or 13 on a good Betamax tape.
Whole movies? Yeah. I didn't know they even held that long. I remember the 60-minute tapes. That's for fucking peasants. Then the 120-minute tapes, dude.
Well, there were some.
We had Lonesome Dove from the store that was 4 tapes.
Well, when they did the
6-hour
Titanic,
movie.
It was 2.
Yeah,
Titanic,
2, and it was like a 4-hour movie.
Remember we had 2 copies of that on VHS, and we were like 18 and 19, and for some reason we had two tape copies of fucking Titanic.
Was it? So I think Saving Private Ryan was like that too on VHS.
Yeah, sure was.
Yeah,
double cassetter.
Well, that or like I can't remember what I saw on the Facebook Marketplace. I want to say it was like the A&E or Time Life thing for like Bigfoot and all different kind of thing, and it was like fucking 10 tapes that when you put them all together made one picture on the side. You're like, yeah. Tony has like Star Trek something through something.
My dad has, and
if all goes together, yeah. Hell yes.
Yep. Or Star Wars, that all makes the Star Wars kind of. I think it's
like the posters thing,
kind of. I think.
Yeah, and then they split it up
something
into
like that. Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, and just like regular cavemen, we get sidetracked every time we try and talk about something. But that's good. That's good. But I was just staying on point while being...
Boobs. Oh.
Ugh, boobs.
Boobs. Oh, God.
Beer.
Yeah.
Beer.
No, it was funny, though, because I got so pissed off about that damn thing. And then it would come back on, and you're like, ha.
Oh, and then it's worse.
And then it's like you're watching it, and then it starts doing that kind of like
pixelate,
or it's blurry, and it's like you can still hear them just fine, but it's blurry, so it's just like that's not good enough. So
it'd be that way when we'd be watching the wrestling at your house or whatever, and mirroring it to the TV. It'd have like a crystal clear picture, and then somebody would move or something like that, and the picture would adjust, and it would do the pixelated thing, and be like, all right.
Well,
okay.
They just haven't quite figured it out. Like, here's what's obvious about human beings that makes me know that we're still cave people. Our phones can, like, instantly satisfy us in situations that we know better than. Like, I'm at work, but yet I'm playing on my phone, talking to you, upset that I don't have enough time to finish the work that's been given to me for the day. Things like that. But you know what phones don't do? Don't hold a charge for more than, like, 4 hours, right? Mm-hmm. And the second you get, like, 4 feet past the last gas station in town, it just stops working altogether. Yep. No internet, no phone calls.
Certain materials that your walls are built out of block shit
like my
that.
work happens to be, like, metal. And so if I'm standing on the dock where everybody can see me, I can play on my phone. Just fine. If I go 3 feet inside the building and hide behind a door where it's heated and there's, like, electricity and stuff, no go.
Well, it's like your house. You only get certain good reception in your house.
I know, it's weird. Yeah, no, mine's that same way. If I stand right in the center of the kitchen, fine. If I sit on my bed on my back looking at my phone like this, I got it. But if I lean on the edge of my bed towards the front, no go.
And the same thing in your living room.
If I sit on you side of the couch, no go. You side of the couch, just fine.
Yeah, your apartment's got a weird reception.
It's all the dead bodies I got stuffed in the walls. Just eating up all my data.
Or all the dead people that have died in that apartment.
Oh, there's lots of people have died in that apartment.
My basement's like that, too.
A lot of people died in it?
No.
Oh, you don't have service.
Lots of dead people in it.
Lots of dead people in it.
No. No reception. Like, if I'm trying to, like, take a shit downstairs on my phone, it's
Isn't
really
that annoying?
Slow.
Like, I have one that really super kind of pisses me off. So I'll be, like, doing something that don't fucking matter on my phone. Doesn't. But it's upsetting me that it won't just finish. Kind of like when you have a song stuck in your head, so you just got to listen to the whole thing to get it out of there. And my phone won't react. Mm-hmm. But sure as shit, my phone will start ringing with the, like, Mr. Beeler, you forgot to pay this bill this month. And I'm like, sorry, I'm 4 hours late. It's actually due today. And they're like, yeah, we're just reminding you. So you come in by the end of the day and give us a little bit more money.
It must be less
a little more, yeah. No, I wish. I wish it was something cool.
Never.
I wish I had something when I was done paying for it. I just pay bills, apparently. But, yeah, and then that call will come through in the same exact spot that I couldn't enjoy it watching a movie or doing something. Well, I mean, I know I'm not supposed to. It's work, but pay me more and I won't do that.
Right.
Type of thing. What about Sean's new toy there? Why don't you snag that? 'Cause this is sexy.
I forgot to grab my stuff and bring it with me again. I got some new shit.
So, Sean, he's into the... He popped his vinyl cherry. He popped his vinyl cherry. And, you want to tell him about it, or...
Well, it's the AC/DC Back in Black. It's the...
It's Angus Young.
It's Angus Young, sorry.
As a Grey Zombie thing.
As a Grey Zombie
And it's pretty sweet with the fake album in the background.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Like I always say, the collector items aren't things that are unique themselves. It's the package they come in.
That's what I thought.
Right.
I was like, it's bigger. I was like, what the hell? That's big. I was like, I'm on that.
Well, that's like a rule of thumb for toys.
Something like, different.
Well, yeah. So like you and me all could go get like a Galoob red card Macho Man and spend like $50-$60 still on the card. But if you find a Galoob black card Macho Man, that thing's worth like $580, $600, $650, up, depending on the condition.
I got a perfectly fine Macho Man right there.
You have a perfectly fine
Macho Man right there.
Macho Man right there. Oh God, that shit's so funny. So for children that never been forced to buy their toys at the dollar store, he got the little wall crawler slappy deals.
Usually they're like a ninja.
Yeah, well, and for good reason now we realize, because there's only one way to put an actual face on those, and it's to make a god-awful sticker, hand cut the head off, and just it onto the plastic face head.
I couldn't pass them up, dude.
Is that Ric Flair too?
Yeah.
Happy 72nd birthday to Ric Flair today as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's how the older he is?
He's 72.
Jesus.
And he looks old as fuck. He looks like fucking Skeletor.
Well, but he's fucking on that one hot Southern chick.
They say it is, but I don't know if he actually is. He's definitely got a young ass wife that young.
He's Ric Flair.
Yeah.
He does what he wants.
Imagine fucking Ric Flair.
Huh?
Like, do you think he does that in bed?
Oh, I bet.
When he's done.
Yeah.
I bet he's fucking rad, dude. I bet that's one smooth motherfucker. I bet he'd teach you some things. You know what I mean? Like, imagine having a guy that hangs out with The Undertaker and Dennis Rodman. He's the only short white guy there wearing pimp clothes, and he's like, I'm going to teach you something about picking up women. I'd be like, fucking preach, dude. Okay. I will shut the fuck up for the next 5 hours.
Well, the fact that he's such a
He'd probably just go like this, though, and be like, it's cocaine. It's cocaine.
The fact that he's such a pop icon in all facets of entertainment now is ridiculous. Like, there's a rap named after him, a Ric Flair drip, that they brought him in, and they gave him a Ric Flair chain, and the guys actually like got to wear his robes in the music video and everything like that. He's given warm-up speeches to different football teams, college and pro. They've played his music to and through. Just everything that guy's done. I heard somebody they were doing an interview and they talked about riding on a plane with Ric Flair, and they saw him do this gangster move. And it's him and his wife on the plane, and he orders Bloody Mary, doubles, one for him and one for his wife. And so when the stewardess the flight attendant brings him his stuff, sets them both down, he grabs his wife's real quick and slams it, puts it back down, and then grabs his and starts sipping on it. And then when she comes back through, he goes, oh, she finished hers. Can she have another one? And he just does that the entire flight.
Hell yeah. I want to know what fucking aeroplane you can get a Bloody Mary on. I bet that's a pretty fancy fucking...
First class, usually, a lot of the time.
And they'll just bring me mixed drinks, huh?
Normally, for me, it's just been like water or apple juice. That's it. Water or apple
most
juice.
of the time, they'll offer the alcohol, but they charge it to your card or whatever that's attached to your ticket or whatnot.
We made that mistake when we flew to Georgia. And the most horrible meal I've ever had in my life, dude. But it was like, I don't know, it was some kind of processed, I don't even remember what it was. But it was just awful, and it was...
Like prison food?
Yeah, it came out to like $38 a plate. Mm-hmm. And it was like, holy shit. Just a styrofoam. It was like, what the fuck is this?
That's something I've always wondered. Like, does it really cost that much more to have, like, you know... A decent plate and a decent food, like
at least give me like a
like either we are
lunch thing.
Maybe we are like either grossly misappreciating the fact that you can get on an airplane and be in New York in 6 hours, or they're assholes and we paid those planes off 100,000 times and fuel costs next to nothing to put in them. Maybe that.
Well, when you're looking at airplanes that are. They're still running, 747s that are from 1975. Good point. If you were watching the news over Denver this week, I think it was a 777 had the engine blew up, and parts of its engine, I think its right wing engine fell all over a neighborhood in Denver.
Oh shit,
week.
Huh?
Yeah, there's a picture on the internet of right outside the front door of this house. It's like the dude's truck, their tree, and then the fucking whole, I don't know what you call the outside of the engine, that ring.
Yeah.
That whole fucking thing. And it's like bigger than the front of his house.
Oh yeah, those
and it's just
huge.
Sitting there leaning up on his house. You can see where all the branches of the trees
so
and shit.
fucking mad, dude.
Ooh. Yeah, and I guess they're asking for people to like call, like if you had any debris fall, please
it's
call.
like
That's
Breaking Bad when the airplane blows up when the guy's daughter mashes them together in the sky.
Well, and then there's cell phone video of people, and that would scare the shit.
Oh, they were like
definitely.
in the plane?
Yeah, there's like the window seats that are right by the engines, and you're like, and they're taping out of it, and the whole thing's just fucking sitting there vibrating and shit, and there's flames popping out the back of it.
I can answer this question for everybody right now. You want to know why that plane's engine blew up? Because you silly motherfuckers turned your phones on during a flight. It says it super specifically right fucking here next to the breathy tube thing. Yep. Don't turn on your cell phones. In the middle of an emergency, what did you do? On service, FaceTime live, fucking, and then now the whole plane's like, starts fucking shorting out and shit. I can't compute. We told you not to.
Yeah, no thanks. I don't like flying anyway, but that'd be the end of it for me.
I didn't like it when I first started flying, and then I got so used to it, I was like, I want to fly everywhere. Like, if I got to go to Anatone, I want to fly there. Just drive. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's just so convenient, because I've driven from here to where I was living in Colorado 3 times or 4 times, and I've flown a bajillion times. Mm-hmm. And it's like the difference between how awful that trip is, especially when you're going through Utah. Shout out to the flattest, most boring fucking place ever, dude. It seems like you're on the same stretch of road, and it's just circling.
Like, am I in some
for
sort
like
of
10 hours? Yeah, it's like it's just dropping you off back at the beginning of the awful. And nothing like
the scene in the Flintstones where it's just the same houses over.
It just keeps fucking looping. And you're like, I've left here already. I know I've left here already. And you look in the mountain, the one little hill thing that's super like recognizable for some reason. The way that the highway goes around it, it just always seems to be in the same spot for like 5 hours, and you're just like, too much flat.
Sarah wants to go back to see some family and stuff in Illinois, and I'm like, hey, we'll take some time and we'll drive. And she's like, no.
Right.
Because her and her mom, they drove out. I think they'd made that trip 3 times within 2 years. And she was like, no. I will never drive that again. No, First of all, it takes like 5 days.
Yep.
And she's like, no. She's like, you get a couple states that are like, oh, that's cool. But then the rest of it, nothing. She's like, a lot of it is just cornfields.
Yep. Not bullshit on that.
Well, and like the scary thing is like, I don't know if it's an urban legend, but like if it's the right time of year and you go walking in cornfields, you can actually get lost.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no way to fucking see which way you came from, type of thing. No. And if you you know, like kids playing hide and seek, fucking all kinds of kids went missing, you know, in a time when there wasn't phones, or the kids were like so scared of getting in trouble for having got lost that they won't say nothing when adults are like yelling their name or whatever stupid thing kids do. Kids
find
do
them during harvest.
Yeah. Oh, you find them, but
gross.
Hey, there he was.
Oh shit! The whole crop's ruined.
He was just right there off the road and everything. Well, that's the thing. What if, like, that would be my luck. Like, here's highway, and I'd almost be to it and not know it, you know, and I'd finally be like, I've went the wrong way for too long. And then I'd go this way for like 5 hours, and then I'd be like, that's got to be wrong. And every time I get close to the highway, I would just turn. I'd just be.
Well, and it's a dead time where you don't hear any cars, nothing's driving by, so there's no like indication
and there's
that
just
you're that
nothing
close.
That you can stand on. Like, you know how frustrating, you know me. You know how mad I would be is if every time I'm trying to like shimmy up a corn stalk and get that little. What's over there? And then every time it breaks when you get to that one point where you're starting to see. I would start.
I don't think you could get that high up on a corn stalk.
I know. I'd like lose my mind.
I don't think I've ever really seen a corn stalk.
Like a healthy corn stalk's kind of strong.
They are, but they're kind of built like bamboo, I guess I would say. But they're nowhere near as strong as bamboo.
See, I'm a cock. The first thing I'd start doing is kicking them things over.
Well, I mean, that would
kicking them over, and then I'd just stack them up until I could have something to stand on and see.
Well, that would be the honest to God best way to do it if you guys are going to play it or just go explore in a cornfield. Just break a couple things off so you know where you're going. When like you can just turn right back around and follow those.
Right, and a lot of them are in broken ones. So if you were like really watching your row, and you know.
You know what gets me is like, it's been a while back ago, but we were watching something on like an Unsolved Mysteries or something like that, and it was a guy, didn't end up being a murder, but he went missing, but he was out, and he was, I don't know if they were mushroom picking or picking berries or something like that, and he went off on his own, and his family couldn't find him anymore, and they ended up finding him like after the winter, and his body was only like 25 feet away from where their truck was parked.
Oh, what?
But he couldn't find his way out. It was like really thick, and so he couldn't see the truck. And so he kind of did that, like you were saying, like back and forth, and then they left. Like, hey, we can't find him. And then when they found him in the spring, he was only like 25 feet away when he thawed out.
It only makes you think of like two things. Like, what if he just slipped, bonked his head, got knocked out, you know, and it wouldn't have been no thing other than you're knocked out. And then because it's like when you wake up, you don't remember what reference to where you came from. You're just like, fuck, I'm in the woods. And just any direction that isn't the road. You know what I mean? And then now you're in the fucking woods. Like... Well, I couldn't do that in Anatone, just knowing, like, I know way too many landmarks, and there's hills to reference where you're at and shit. Like, I know which road's next, you know, if I'm going sideways. I don't know how many times I never used dirt roads when I was a kid up there. But people going out in woods that they don't know, like, I mean, that's cool. It's, like, exploring, and I've done that, too, but I've done it with, like, a full pack and, like, a gun and, like, knowing that, like, everything I need to, like, at least stay the night is in my pack.
Yep.
But people are like, I'm going to go get some mushrooms. And then they just fucking take off.
Well, kind of like I was talking to you earlier. I watched the story on Chris, what's his last name? Anyway, Into the Wild.
Into the Wild, yeah.
I watched that movie today, and
it's kind of sad.
It is sad.
Well, and there was people that offered him help.
Yeah.
And he just didn't take it or whatever, and then they found him, like, 6 weeks later.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just to be that like, I don't know, he was prepared. He knew how to do things.
He was way overconfident with what he thought he could eat, and that's what ended up taking him out. Wasn't it the berry, some kind of berry he ate, and it kept dehydrating him, and then...
Yeah, something like that. And then he was having issues with meat. Like, at first it shows him... have you seen the movie or read the book?
I seen the...
and he gets that moose, and, like, the whole moose spoils, because he doesn't get it cut up in time, and, like... bagged up or anything, and it just all spoils, and he doesn't get any of it. Like holy shit.
That would.
But anyway, super kind of sad movie. It kind of actually bummed me out.
Yeah, it does.
I spent like an hour and a half watching it, and then I was like, oh damn.
Yeah. It's funny, like, as I get older, I don't dislike stuff like that. Like, maybe it's just the thing in my brain that's like, you're suffering too. Like, you know, like, maybe I live in a shitty apartment and everything isn't going my way, but I'm not stuck in the woods eating berries and shitting my brains out till I'm dead.
True.
Could always be worse.
It could. Definitely.
Yeah. It could be better, because we could turn this into a true Fancy Tickles episode and talk about our secret fantasy fucking. Because I seen it sitting there.
That's the first one on there.
That's first. Well, we skipped around, you know, I've kind of been eyeballing it.
Secrete.
It does say secrete.
It definitely does.
It does say secrete. So obviously that's the goal.
Yeah.
Is to secrete.
So I guess it would have been, or it is now, deep down.
Yeah.
Deep down, there's got to be somebody, whether it's one of the Golden Girls, whether it's somebody. Who's yours, Jim?
Oh, like celebrity? Oh, you're talking like
you were
celebrity?
asking. I thought we were talking about their secret fantasy fuck. I'm like, well, if it's the Golden Girls, they're fucking freaks. I know it.
Well, Betty White back in the day would be...
I bet she's a firecracker.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Like a true fantasy fuck?
You know, it doesn't have to be somebody old or anything either. Like,
right,
it can be
just anybody.
But if you're like, ooh, Pamela Anderson, I'll be like, no, it doesn't count.
No, I get it, because who wants to have sex with Pamela Anderson? That's disgusting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, like, any one of the unnamed suicide tattoo girls on Instagram that you guys are constantly showing me. Those kind of girls. It's more of a situation. Like, I want it to be as, like... not okay as possible.
Like maybe in their description it says something like, I do have herpes.
Oh fuck, dude.
That is the I couldn't I was literally flipping through my phone last night taking a shit at work, and that's what came across, and I was like, she looks normal enough. And then every now and again I'll look at the ones from Spokane, because you always get those conversations that you're like, you just get the out-of-towners, you can get the pictures and shit like that, you know. You know there's no chance to hook up at this point, like, for me anyway. Be completely honest, there's just no chance at this point. Anyway, so you just, like, find those ones, and I was like, so you'll go through and you're like, okay, has a kid, doesn't have kids, look at their hobbies, whatnot. And then you read their About Me, and this chick I don't even remember what her name was. I want to say it was like Marissa or something like that. Didn't conversate with her at all, but just the best part about it was like, I'm a completely open and honest person, and I think it's only fair that you know that I have herpes.
Right.
And then it goes
here's
into
the best part. She has herpes and spelled it wrong. She put an I in there, dude. First thing I saw... Don't even start talking about not spelling things correctly and piping up in a conversation. This is a me, at least Jim conversation right now.
Because there's sometimes that I'm not, and I know that like your phone gets smart to a point where it like starts mimicking what you type in it.
Right.
But I'm like, dude, you got a smartphone. It's supposed to be correcting you on your spelling.
He's swiping. Bad. He's disregarding every correction. He's like, why does it keep trying to spell my words wrong? Why does it keep...
Dude isn't D-U-D-E. It's D-double-O-D.
D-double-O-D, dude.
Some of it is to be funny. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Some of it's to be funny.
Yeah, like secrete.
Yeah, like secret.
You know that that's secret. You have to know that that's secret. Like, haven't you ever seen Victoria's Secret written on nothing?
I have.
There you go.
I don't know. I added an E.
Victoria's Secret?
Victoria's Secret. It sounds like a disabled chick that's horny for you named Victoria, and she's just walking at you. Victoria's Secret. Secret. I secret.
I saw a meme.
I don't know why I always go to the Wabu Wabu voice from Family Guy when describing, no matter what sex the person is. Sorry, I didn't mean to pick one or the other.
I saw
gender neutral fucking Mr. Potato Head, dude. That's a potato head.
There's some things that you just don't.
Can't it just say California edition or something on it? You're all a bunch of fucking potato heads down there.
I saw a meme today that was the guy's checking into a hotel and he's like, I would like the porn in my room to be disabled. And he's like, we don't discriminate in the porn on the channels you get.
If you don't want to watch disabled people having sex, then don't watch it.
Turn your wheelchair around.
Turn the wheelchair around if it offends you. It's odd that you're a person in a wheelchair that doesn't like disabled porn, but whatever. Did I go there?
I'm going to rewind it just a second here.
Yeah, do it. Go back. Go back.
For some reason, she's also in the movie Into the Wild for a short period of time. They're like the two hippies. Anyway, the mom from Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I don't know why.
I can see that. I always thought
gets me going
is that the same chick from 40-Year-Old Virgin that likes Andy? Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
It's the voice. It's definitely the voice.
Yes, yep,
she reminds us of our moms, believe it or not. Think about
it. It is.
Rough voice, brown hair.
Maybe not my mom.
A little bit loosey-goosey in the looks.
No offense.
No. I was like, you're just talking like, it reminds me of our moms. It's like, not my mom per se.
Our moms.
Yeah.
That were like twins.
No, but you don't think about your mom that way.
Each other.
They did. That's the thing, yeah. Oh. They just couldn't talk to us about how they knew each other.
Probably.
That's what my mom said.
Really?
Yeah, man. They were...
Okay, so when... Oh, no, my mom did know your mom.
And it's the fucking 80s, dude. Everybody knew each other, you know what I mean?
And my aunt knows your dad, because my aunt worked for your dad at Omark Industries.
I know you were tapping your nose, but the whole time you were looking over to him, I kept thinking you were going like this. And I was like, so they knew each other? You know?
No. I believe they did cocaine together in the 80s.
I mean, you can sniff a line out of a cooter, I'm sure.
Yes, you can, Jim. Yes, you can. It's easier off the butt, but sure.
Off a butt cheek.
Yeah, dude, that's the hottest thing about chicks that like to party like that. I don't party like that anymore. Is the ones that got that dip in their back, you know?
Oh, I love that.
That goes
dip
up to the butt, right?
Oh.
You can put a nice fat line of cocaine in there. Kablow, right in there.
One of my exes had the little dimples in the back.
Oh, dude, isn't that fucking nuts?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I only got to bang her twice, but that was only the first time we dated. After that, we never dated again, but I got some extra.
Dude, that's secret. So back to it not being a celebrity or something like that. I just want 3 hot redheads that are all into each other before they're into me. Like 3 roommates that happen to be gingers, that are hot, that spend all day fiddle fucking each other, and then like I come to deliver a pizza, or fix the television, or whatever thing I think in my head puts me through. Maybe they just invite me over. That's fine.
And for some reason, you just
I'm
sweats.
the one. And I got
and
gray sweats on.
Like, it's all fixed.
Yeah, and I'm just fucking stretching out these dirty gray sweatpants, and they're like, oh my God, how many baby mamas do you have? And I'd be like, 37, and they're like, oh, fuck. Be like, how many times have you been to jail? I'll be like, a dozen at least. I can't even remember. And they're just like, oh! And then they just attack me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just own it. Like, I want it to be one of those things, too. Like, they think they're going to be in charge, and then all three of them are doing the fucking shaky quiver, I can't believe what just happened thing. Yeah. And you're just fucking know what you did there type of thing. Might even retire.
Right after that,
I'd be like, I'm never going to do it. Yeah, if somebody's like, hey, you want to have sex? I'd be like, no.
I'm never going to do what I just did there any better.
Yeah, I just did it. I already did. What if that's how you describe sex? Like, if you got to a point where you're like, I know that the next time isn't going to be better. Like, it's like anything else. Like, if you're cage fighting and you see these cage fighters in their aging years where they keep having okay fights, but you're watching them fall off. Or you see some pro athlete start falling off that used to be your hero. It's the same thing. You get to a certain age, you know you're never going to look any better no matter how hard you try, because age is going to meet your workout, you know, and eventually you're just going to be either like a really ripped guy with skin hanging off of him that's super pasty and varicose veins, or you're going to just like dad bod out. I mean, I'm going to be an Adonis when I'm 65, but I'm talking about normal people. Yeah, so like you're never gonna have that fling sex again. Like you're only gonna have after Mother's Day sex. You're only gonna have Father's Day sex. You're gonna only have that half-assed attempt at Christmas morning sex. Like I've done them all, so
isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's because
half-assed morning.
You get the holidays,
or just half-assed morning sex to begin with. You know, like.
I am a morning sex guy, though. I
want to wake up in the morning.
But I'm also not a bad breath dude. So it's like, it's got to be...
Like you having bad breath or her? Oh, yeah, no, man. You got to wait till they're laying on their side and like all asleep and you're like rubbing their back and being nice and then, you know.
Just knock on the back door a little bit. Let them know you're home.
Oh,
right in the ass.
Jim and his culture of people. They're all about just poking people with it. Don't go down on nobody.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I just had this rant. Hey, did you see the biography on the wood sitting on the bed? I sent it on Fancy Tickles.
I didn't want to open it.
Oh,
I knew what it was. Really?
Yeah.
So he's talking about like the meme that, and y'all can pretend like you haven't seen it, but you've seen it. It's a really large black man, like gorilla-y, scary large, with what appears to be like an entire summer sausage for a wiener. Yeah. Is probably the best way. Like I'm an intimidatingly mean, wide, scary boner on an intimidatingly mean, wide person.
I don't even think it's a boner. I think it's just it's
limp.
Dude, if that guy got a hard on, he'd fucking pass out. There'd be too much blood loss. If he fucking
big boy though.
Jesus, yeah, he could just use that thing like it is.
You should watch it though. It's just a quick little. It's kind of funny.
All right, I will.
Yeah, watch it.
I will. Yeah. I mean, I guess I've already had to look at his wiener before, so.
Yeah, it's just the story behind it.
And then when you put Jim's fucking face on there, dude, I just could not. Dude, that was burned into my memory for like an hour. I was like, I can't unsee that being Jim now. Like, it just won't go away. And the eye contact of the whole thing, dude. He's just staring into your soul like you know what that guy's going to do with that thing, and it's not good. Like, not safe. It's probably not.
Check out my photo editing skills.
Right. Jeez. Like, immediate, too. What's funny is the original didn't pop up very much before the one you edited. Like, you had it
Oh, no, I downloaded it, threw the parking lot into Walmart, put my face on it as I was walking through Walmart, and anytime somebody would walk by, I would like...
I was going to say, you had that fucking picture up with that dog as you're walking through Walmart. Jesus.
I'll have my phone open at the Walmart, because, like, my time is my time. Like, if I don't have Ollie with me, I go straight into Bryce mode. Like, I'm going to do the shit I want to do or whatever. So somebody wants to message me. Somebody wants to send me a booby picture. Whatever. Those kind of things. I'm going to be like, sweet. And I'm old, so I got to be like, oh, all right, now my eyes focus. And then so everybody behind me is seeing, like, everything I've ever looked at. You have, like, an adult website pop up on your phone, and you're like, Boner Lover 6969 likes your picture. You're like, which picture was that? Oh! And then the person next to you sees the picture of you on your phone, and they're like, damn, that's nice. And then they ask, and you're like, this is the website. You can join it right here.
Well, it's like I was closing the store one night, and one of the front-end checkers, the closer, she was, 65, something like that. And I think you know who I'm talking about.
I do, too, because I've seen her on the thing.
Well, not just that, but playing on Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
And I walk by, and then, like, I come up to check on her and be like, how you doing? Everything going okay? And she's got her phone out, and there's just this dick. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And she goes, oh my God, you weren't supposed to. Oh my God, oh no. And I was like, it's your time, whatever, but not at work. Don't leave the dog hanging on the phone.
Oh no, Jim, you just you jumped her shit for it?
Not really. Like, I was just giving her shit.
Good on you, baby.
I was
Give her a
giving
little
her shit the
nipple
whole
pinch
time.
or something. Well, nipple
like,
pinch,
hey.
she is older.
Hey, I'm pretty young and I got a big old schlong.
Be like, how did you get a picture of my wiener? That would have been
That
it,
would have
dude.
been really funny.
How did you get a picture of that? And she's like, what? And we're like, that's me.
That's
You just
me.
watch her like,
Well, it's not even like a face. It's like,
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, she's just, that can't be in there. That's not in
never
there.
know.
Well, it's like the meme that was like, don't trust the bulge.
Oh.
And it showed
Yeah.
like the x-ray of the wiener, and it's got the bulge and the little tiny wiener just pointing straight forward with the nuts underneath. And then it shows the big O version where it's like totally flat and the dong's going down the pant leg.
God, I missed that page.
Oh, man. I know.
It was so
Did it
good.
never come back?
It never
No.
came back. None of the, like, a couple of the people I talked to from the page or whatever, but no, nobody decided to try and bring
For
it
a fourth
back.
time.
Yeah. Well, I just think, so, like, I've had stuff flagged, and I had a friend recently have something flagged where they were joking in a comment on a post. Like, the person's like, it was one of those, like, Power Rangers is the greatest moral story of all time, changed my mind type of thing. And then somebody posted to their friend, like, oh, I'm going to beat your ass for that. Saying it like that. Just like that. It's their friend.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody reported him. Nobody flagged him. But Facebook banned him for 48 hours because of
cyberbullying.
intimidation, cyberbully, blah. This isn't allowed on Facebook.
Oh my God.
And she's like, messages Facebook like, that's my friend. Like, you guys need to fucking hold the phone, because I don't know if anybody remembers, and I know, like, I'm not like, I am a conspiracy theorist, but like, every time it's one like this, and then when it happens, everybody's like, well, that's just the way it goes. But like, it wouldn't have if you'd have listened to me before they were allowed to make those changes. So like, we are living now in a time when, depending on what team you're on, is what you're allowed to say. So if you're on one team, you can hold a fake head of a decapitated president, and everybody's your best friend. Same exact actress could grab Joe Biden's head right now, fake one, or real one, hopefully, decapitated, and everybody would cheer, or everybody wouldn't cheer, type of thing. Everybody would be all upset. She'd get flagged. She wouldn't have a show no more, that kind of thing. We are not living in as fair of times as we think. Like, if you truly looked at what it is that seems to be going on, other countries in the 40s did this exact same thing. They demonized the people that had been in control of their wealth and progress up until that point. And when that wealth and progress wasn't working in an economical situation, like, say, banking standards, centralized banking, inflation built into currency, whatever, they then demonized those people and then used that as the propaganda to then take those people out. Well, we had 4 years with Trump. And whether you like him or not, he did a really good job with certain things. Staying out of the public eye was not one of them. But policies and things to where he's like, well, I'm going to lead my party and my nation in the direction based on the majority, which is the people that voted for him, because that would be the majority if they voted for him.
Yeah.
Now that those 4 years are up and the other party has abolished everything good, is not being talked to about how they're not doing anything good. Like, there is nothing good you can say about the current president's presidency other than he is now the president and the other guy isn't. That's all that somebody can say so far.
But nobody's throwing as much of a fit.
They're not. As him not being effective as a president. Nobody's doubting or anything. We've all completely forgot that his son is a complete and total fucking drug addict, like womanizer, bad person that was involved in high-level government things and in government contract jobs and shit. All that shit went away because the current group is the fucking majority right now, and it's leading to the allowance of all the things they hated. That group says they hated police brutality. Well, now you are being brutal. You went out and destroyed a bunch of shit. You're demonizing the people because they're the minority. Isn't that what you're fucking mad about in the first place? Is that a minority has been trampled upon and not given a voice? So it's funny when the power goes in certain people's hands, they act like they want it for so long, and now that they have it, we're like fucking a few weeks in or whatever to the presidency, and shit ain't any better. Yeah. Country's just as divided, and now we're continually writing policy that destroys traditional values more and more. And I'm not saying that everybody's values and every traditional value should hold true, but I sure as shit don't think that men should be fighting women in cage fights. I'm going to say that again, just like I did before. And I sure as shit don't think 8-year-old boys or little girls should be deciding what gender they are. I didn't even start rubbing boners up against fucking shower stalls until I was like 12, and I had no reference to ladies. I liked my shower stall. It did what I wanted. Right? Like, this fucking thing. Like, I would have never, like, pasted a picture, whether man, woman, or whatever, to be like, I'm going to pretend that's that. I mean, obviously that's what we do now, but... You know what I mean? So, and I was 12. Like, I don't know. Just some stuff doesn't seem morally responsible until we see the after effect. It's just as bad as, like, DDT was in the day, where they're like, we found out way later this thing was really bad for babies and people, and, all it really is good at is killing this bug on this plant. Mm-hmm. Mission accomplished. Giving people autism and, like, birth defects, also mission accomplished. So...
Yeah.
And these are psychological things, so we're going to see the long-term effect, like, culminate when all of these people are, like, 25. So, like, 13 years from now?
I hate to say it, too, but I think the effects, the long-term effects of the COVID shot, too.
Oh, just be louder.
Oh, the long-term
louder,
effects.
Scoot in.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that
Get
a minute.
in there.
You keep leaning out.
The
long-term effects of the
COVID shot. Now, that being said, I know a lot of people that have had it, including my wife.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad she got it, but at the same time, I'm like, boy, I hope this...
Yeah.
I hope...
there's two sides to that. Like, either you already were an anti-vaccination person, which you're not. Your kids got them, you got them, your wife got them, we all got them.
Yeah.
Yes, some had problems. No, some had other problems. The only difference with this is it's like an RNA, DNA changing thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's in stages. It's not just a vaccine in which antibodies are being produced. They're changing your DNA to fight that thing better.
Yeah.
And so then that's every bad zombie movie you've ever seen.
I know,
that's exactly the plot of I Am Legend, is they're like had a virus that needed a vaccine. They hurried up. He was a hero, Joe Biden. I'd fucking be taking notes if I were you. A hero saves everybody with the vaccine, and then all of a sudden we got fucking zombies and nobody left.
Yeah.
We'll see. I am hoping for that one. Because I know I'd be a bad motherfucker in that scenario. I would.
I could see you as like The Walking Dead, like a Negan type character.
What's he talking about?
You know who I'm talking about?
I've watched one episode of The Walking Dead ever.
So
he's my favorite
furthest
bad guy
down the road. He's like a bad guy at first, and he's now semi like a neutral guy. But his big thing is he's got a bat with a chain and barbed wire wrapped around it.
Yeah, that's my guy.
And
that's
he kind of runs he runs this whole group of people out of this fucking like warehouse, and he's real kind of brutal on them. Like, if you fuck with me, like, he fucking burns your face with a fucking old school iron.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shit.
I like this guy.
There's a scene in there, like the biggest scene that they've ever had for this, and it was super brutal, super everything.
Yeah.
There's two characters, Glenn and his wife, and they're sitting side by side, and Glenn pops off at the mouth, and he takes that bat and just bashes him in the head like 2 or 3 times.
Dude's fucking
and at the
eyeballs
end, yeah.
hanging out.
And that's
shit.
the first shot that he takes. And they like pan away, and he like comes back, and he's like, oh, we got a fighter here. We got a strong one, boys. And it comes back to him, and his like face is just bloody, and the eyes popped out of the socket. And he just takes that bat again and bashes him one more time and just finishes him.
Yeah.
I think you'd really get into this show.
I probably would.
It
wasn't that I was never not into it. I just didn't have the opportunity. Like, it was when, I want to say Netflix or whatever was pretty brand new, or like it was on AMC, I think.
Yeah.
Was the kind of, so whatever I saw it on was like TV with somebody, and then obviously that somebody didn't work out or whatever, and so I never got another episode out of the deal. Shout out to all the women that have helped me watch like the first 3 episodes of new shows.
I do that with Jim. I think I've done that with you for a long time.
And then
you'd be like, hey, have you ever seen this movie? And I'll watch like 10 minutes of it, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I gotta go home, take a poop. Or something. Because, I'm afraid to poop anywhere but home.
Yeah.
And I never see it again until like 15 years later, and then watch the rest of them.
Speaking of movies that we have watched together, they are doing another Jeepers Creepers trilogy where they're going to do a prequel set in front of the first one. So it's like building to...
So it'll explain a little bit of...
It explains how he gets to where he's at recently.
Oh, yeah. What's the other one that they're rebooting? We were talking about movies and shows.
Oh,
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? They rebooted that. There was... And it's not set in stone yet, but a Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah,
they had a side-by-side interview between Adam Sandler and the guy that plays Shooter, and they were talking about how it would be cool to do a sequel where they're on like the senior tour now, and like going up against each other or whatever.
Isn't Adam Sandler like 55 now?
Oh, he's up there.
Yeah,
that's dude. I've been having some like shitty dreams lately where the reference is like my apartment or like wherever I'm living, and I'm getting the hint that it's the future. You know what I mean? I feel slow or whatever, and like the TV is always on, and I have cable or whatever for some reason. Like, so I know.
So it's a dream.
I know it's a dream, and I'm like watching, and it's the news, and the news is talking about this famous person dying, but it's like, well, like I'll just use the reference we were using earlier. There's like Lindsay Lohan's and Britney Spears's and Happy Gilmore's and fucking those kind of people dying, and it was just like, that's just sad. Like, I don't want to talk about sad shit, but I'm thinking like when you watch your generation of shit die, you know what I mean? Like,
I saw
all the old rockers dying now, and all the old
One of the channels that they just picked up on that sling that I have is Laugh, and it's like all the old school sitcoms. So it starts after the infomercials. It goes Night Court, Grace Under Fire, According to Jim, That 70s Show, and then it does like a 2-hour block of this countdown show, and then it doubles back. So then it'll go 3 hours of According to Jim, 3 hours of That 70s Show, How I Met Your Mother's on there. And then it goes into the infomercials, and it's literally just those 4 or 5 shows that they loop through.
Yeah.
One of the... Home Improvement's one of the other ones. So one of the facts that was on there was Jonathan Taylor Thomas, that was the huge kid that came out of all of it, Simba on The Lion King, everything else like that, is 39 years old now. The same age as Tim Allen was when the first season of Home Improvement debuted.
God, that's so fucking crazy.
Like, when you think about like the depth of those shows, like Seinfeld, and how great Seinfeld is. Whether anybody wants to admit it, Seinfeld to me is better than The Office. It's better than Friends. It's better than a lot of them.
Well, it's the original
first. Like it was that group of friends, and they were all those kind of like goofy situations.
Well, every sitcom after was the same thing if you think about it. Friends was a great example of what Seinfeld was, just a different thing. I mean, fuck, dude. Name one that isn't. Just name a random one and be like,
goofy. There's the goofy character.
Well, like there's Big Bang Theory is the same way. It's another group of friends explaining their day as scientists or whatever. But like, it's always the core of the interaction between the friends that makes the show. You know, it's fuck every single thing. Like, that '70s show is a group of fucking friends. What's that one? Workaholics. It's a group of friends.
Yeah.
Like. And those aren't exactly sitcoms because they're filmed at distance or whatever, but all the shows that actually are, Everybody Loves Raymond. It's a family, a group of fucking friends. Isn't it weird how there's really only one reference that we have? Like, again, back to the Are We Still Caveman? It's like, group, ugh, pooped, ugh, got a shame boner, ugh, you know, like it's always the same shit, but for some reason when it's, like that nobody went.
I'll come into a house with funny look.
Right, like this is right. Like this, like the puffy shirt episode from Seinfeld has been redone in some fashion or another. Whether it's like the ugly ring or the ugly glove or the ugly shoes or the ugly car, it's the ugly coat. It's all been done. Like we're still cave people. Like the same shit. Like we haven't even gotten to the stage where more than one of our friends would watch like a science show about how light works and what it actually is and fire and phaser beams and all that. If you started he started telling you about that, you'd just be like, ugh, bored, ugh, no want, learn. You know what I mean? Like, we're still there.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. When are we going to when we start using our brains to just constantly, like, I don't think it has anything to do with individuals' brains. Because I've seen him come up with some cool shit. I've seen you come up with some cool shit. I've come up with some cool shit. Like where you're making something or doing something, or an idea or whatever. When are we all going to start being like Rick from Rick and Morty? We're like, we're not talking about things, we're applying them. Like
using the left sides?
Yeah, and that's more what life used to be about. Like before the phones and the Facebook, it used to be more like we're going to do this to try it because there wasn't 100 examples on the internet this morning being like, you probably shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. Don't do that thing. You know, and I don't know. I want to go back to more of that. Like, yes, sir, I do want to try that. Let's do it. You know, I fucking want to go. Like, I haven't even went fast in a car in a long time. Like, sadly. Like, I've gotten mad and passed somebody or whatever where I shouldn't. And then thought about it for 45 minutes. We sure can't afford a ticket. Like, that's the world we live in now where, like, think of the 70s. There was a level of DUI you could have that they would just be like, all right, you get yourself home right now and park it, mister. And, like, now they're like, ooh, I saw half of an empty beer. And they just get all fucking hard in the paint to give you a DUI. You know, and I get it. Like, a lot of people are out there drinking and shit. And I'm not even a drinker anymore. But, like, I don't know. There's just certain things. It's like, chill out. And this country would be a lot happier. Calm down.
Well, talking about going fast. So, it had just got... It was the first day this week that all the snow finally was off the streets. I think it was... Saturday,
something like that.
Snow was off the streets were dry, and I was headed up 21st Street, coming back from lunch, and there was this lady was doing like 15 miles an hour, and she had chains on the back of her car, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, what are you doing? Like, go home and have your husband take them off, please. Like, and so I was behind her. I was stuck behind her because it was like a semi and then something else. And finally the semi cuts over, and so I just was like, boom, on the throttle. Whoa, wah! And passed her. Well, I turned into the turn lane to turn into work. And I turn in, and lo and behold, guess who turns in behind me?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm getting out, and she just has to creep by and roll down her window and be like, you should really slow down. And I was like, what? I had nothing to say. I was just like speechless about it. I was like, well,
you should maybe speed the fuck up.
Like, yeah.
Well, this is like...
I'm just like, calm down. Like, it's not that big a deal.
And don't go correcting other adults that have already been willing to take an 8,000-pound vehicle and fly it around you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always baffled when people give me shit at a store or something. I'm like... I don't... It's not an arrogant thing. I mean, it sort of is, maybe because, like, I'm trapped in my own head. But, like, I've had guys who be like... Acting pretty tough in your car, and I'll like turn and look at my purple car. I'm like, no, I'm the tough thing in the car. You know, like, you got something to say, let's fucking do it. And then people are like, it's all the talk. I don't know, I haven't gotten in a fucking fist fight in way too long. Like, I don't even know if these work. Maybe somebody should try and catch me off guard.
Speaking of that, I found your videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Haley didn't believe me at all that that's you.
What? Which ones?
I found the one out here at the casino, and then the one in Spokane.
Oh, cage fights, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were showing the skateboard stuff or the cage fight stuff.
Rodriguez or something.
Oh
like
yeah, he got beat up pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And she was like, "That's not Bryce." I was like, "Yes, it is. Bryce doesn't do that." I was like, "Well, not now." Like, she just didn't.
That's awesome though.
But finally, I was like, look really close. It's kind of blurry, and there's a dude right in front of the camera most of the time. But that's Bryce. And she finally was like, I finally kind of got a spot. I paused it. And I was like, Bryce. But yeah, at first she was like, that's not Bryce.
He wouldn't do that.
He doesn't do that.
That's right.
Why do you keep hitting that guy? I was like, that's how you get him to. That's how you win.
Yeah, they have to give
up. And look, Bryce got up and was like, ugh! And the fight wasn't quite over yet.
Oh, it was over.
I mean, it was over, but
I just decided for the referee, like, this guy doesn't need to die today. He barely got anything for it. He just showed up.
I thought it was crazy. They just let you plummet that guy for a little bit.
Yeah, the amateurs used to be pretty bad about like letting you go to, like, because the guy might never get to fight again. So, like, really let him learn a lesson. Yeah. Plus, like, if you're the loudmouth that's getting taped in the back and you got your headphones on, you're like, I'm gonna kill somebody, you know, and you're one of those, like, I can't wait to get my hands on this guy. And you're like, oh, yeah, really? You know, like, I used to talk to the guy that I was fighting all the time because they didn't even think that it was me. Like, because I just have, like, my dork shit on and be warming up, whatever, talking with my friends. Like, I never got excited. I wasn't, like, in the back, like... time to fucking fight.
Rockers and shit.
Dude, like, I never was that guy. I was just excited to get hands on people. And so a guy'd be like, oh, fuck, can't wait. I heard this guy's bad. And I'm like, I fucking heard he's bad too, you know? And then that's what really mind fucks him is you're all friendly and you're like, oh, you're going to do what? You know, oh, I got this thing I want to do. Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, that's fucking crazy, dude. That sounds nuts. You should definitely try that right off the bat. Yeah. You know, and... I don't know, and then when they see you when you first, like, because most of the time you'll come in at separate times, and they usually know right at the end, especially because, like, a lot of my last few fights were all main events, so it was all the end of the night, so everybody else is out of the back finally, it's you and just the other team's trainer, and then, like, the split on the curtain to keep the sides separate so you're not arguing and shit, because guys would do that. I'm like, you guys realize this is an amateur fight, neither one of you make money or have sponsors? Like, what are you fucking arguing about? Just calm down. Go behind the curtain. Yeah. Relax, dude. Enjoy it. You'll not enjoy it soon. Don't worry. But, like, when you finally are, like, and then, you know, you're the local, so you get to go out last one to step in, always last to leave. And they, fucking, guy's already out there, and he's doing that. He's been tough all night, and he's punching a pad or something in the corner, and then they turn around, and you're walking in, and they're like, oh, that's the guy that was super friendly, nice to me in there.
That little nice dorky guy.
He didn't seem to care at all that I was talking about this game plan. And I was always pretty smiley. Like, guy would be all, like, pumped up, trying to be tough at the little face-off thing when they bring you to the middle. And I'm just, like, smiling, like, looking at my corner, looking around at everybody. Like, oh, this is cool, man. There's a lot of people to watch this, you know? Yeah. And then, like, immediately dead face. As soon as that bell rings, it's like, okay, now I'm going to fucking murder you. Like, I used to love that. That was, like, the favoriteest part of cage fighting is the loudmouths and then just fucking piss pounding them.
I was bummed out I only got to go to one of those. I went to the one.
They'll start doing them again, I think.
Rowdy and Nick.
That was fun. I wore a suit to that fight.
Did you?
I did.
Speaking of fights, go ahead. I was gonna say, speaking of fights, we were talking. One of the topics was on here was pair off with animals. Who would win in, like, what's the one fight you would want to see? Two animals fight.
Two different animals.
I did watch one today that was like, sad. So it was one of those, the big bison head things that's got that they're black and they look kind of like a buffalo, but they're like a Cape buffalo or whatever. And it was getting taken out by a crocodile, right? And you're like, aw. And it's like a really long video. It just keeps like dragging it towards the water and getting it a little more. But then finally you see the thing like rear up somehow, and it gets one of its paws on the crocodile's head and just like, Pwah! And fucks it all up, right? And so then you see the crocodile just kind of floating or whatever, but then the thing walks out of the water and like all 4 of its legs are broken because it's been getting bit by the crocodile. So neither one of them won, obviously. Yeah. But you're just like, how many times has that ever happened? Where it finally is like, fuck off, Steve! You know, it just gives it a good one, you know? Like I mean, it's weird almost when you...
And
like,
both of them just kind of go off and die.
Well, yeah. Well, the gator was toast. I mean, just like one like lightning strike and it was done. Or at least it looked like it. It was all bloaty on one side and just no leg twist, nothing. It was just like, And then, anyway. But, like, it's so weird how animals have instincts, right? Like, and the ones that aren't predators seem to have this thing where they give up when it's in their best well-being to do so instead of continue being, like, eventually just kind of, like, roll over and then they're dead. Like, they just shut down even if it's not the actual injury or whatever. But this fucking bison thing, it was like 15 minutes probably? You know what I mean? Is that thing trying to die on us?
Well, apparently that's not plugged in anywhere.
Oh, all right. Well, fuck. Actually, that's a good break.
We'll round it up.
Yeah. We're just rounding it out.
Tagging on that, I would like to see a kangaroo fight a full-grown chimpanzee.
Oh, dude, a chimpanzee would fuck a kangaroo up, dude. Dude, yeah.
I don't know.
They'd get a hold of one of them. Haven't you ever seen, like, a person when they get finally pissed and punch a fucking kangaroo?
Yeah.
There was that one where it was fucking that guy's dog up, and he just walked up and he's like, all right, mate, fucking bang!
Dude, it like squared up
to
it
did.
Too,
he was like...
The kangaroo's all like, come on, motherfucker!
And he fucking blasted him, though, dude. But, no, those chimps, they pull shit apart, dude. They'll literally take another monkey and just pull its fucking arm off. Those are so strong.
I'd like to see...
I do like the idea, though. That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, think of what's Tekken, where it had the kangaroo with the boxing gloves. Yeah.
I'd like to see... So, growing up with, like, street cats around all the time, like, watching a fucking cat fight out in the street, like a really good one, is really fun.
Oh, yeah. No, they're awesome.
I mean, I'd like to see, like, a cougar and, like, a jaguar just fucking go at it.
I think those are the same exact thing besides color.
Probably location.
No, a panther.
I think that's also the same.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Different locations.
Yeah, like, I want to say a puma, a cougar, a mountain lion, a panther. You want to see some big kitties
But
fighting.
not a lion or a tiger.
No, I get what you're saying. Like an actual looking cat thing.
Gotcha.
Hells yes. Well, with that being said, folks, tell us about your cat fights. Tell us about your monkey fights. Tell us about all those fights you've seen. Like, share, and subscribe. I know you won't, but might as well tell you.
Drop us some lines. Give us some ideas. Because we write out shit, but we go all over the place. So if we've got some solid, awesome, badass ideas.
Yeah, because I'm out of them. This is
going to become us just sitting on my new couch here pretty soon.
Yeah, this road's starting to wind on down to the part where the sign's like 1-lane traffic. And you're like, okay, so if I go forward from here, it's only one direction and it's to the fire pit, you know. So don't make us put old Yeller out to pasture. Poor little Fancy Tickles. We got good ideas. Make us famous. That's all I'm wanting. Make
us so we can go to the Walmart and buy action figures of ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not even talking like actual. I'm just like pay my rent on time. Famous would be radical. We love ya, and hopefully next week we're still here.
Oh, we'll be back.
Well, I could die.
Don't do that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Could have a slip and fall.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, did he?